I created this look. It's a very glowy, dewy, autumn grunge look. And if you want to see how I created it, then keep on watching. Yeah! I've done my base, and now I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer in the shade Eden. This one's really good for any discoloration, any redness or darkness on the eyes. It actually allows the colour to stand out a lot more, which is what I love. So you don't even have to use that much, but I'm just going to whack it all on because I can. And you can use your ring finger or a beauty blender. Just because my beauty blender's right here, I'm using that. Yes. Okay. This also, it dries down matte, so it's quite mattifying as well, which isn't always a bad thing. I've got too much hair. So, right. I'm not putting it there, it's just I sweat profusely and I'm just tapping that on. So now you can see my eyelids are completely prepped. Some people use concealer, it's, you know, that's fine, it's just this acts as like a concealer slash primer, so it's like 2 in 1, so why not? For the eyeshadow, I'm going to be using Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics because you've got a lot of nice, really warm colours. Sorry, it's a little bit dirty. And then I've also got a Z palette that I custom made. So in here, I'm all for this. So to start with, I'm going to use, you can see I've hit pan quite a bit, so I'm going to be using this shade here just to set all of that. If I can find a clean brush. I take the primer all the way up to the brow as well, just because it helps it to blend in really nicely. A lot of people I know like to do their brows first, but just for today I'm going to do eyeshadow and then brows last. So yeah, you've not got to be too extra. Oh, so fresh. Now with this same palette I'm going to probably go in with Faith, maybe a little bit of Tempted, so just a mixture of the two. Checking I've got a clean brush because I never normally do. Okay, this colour here. We're going to just start to pop that into the crease. Now because this is going to be kind of grungy, I don't mind too much if it's a little bit messy, like not too perfect, but as long as it's nice and blended as well. Why are you being a bitch? Why are you being a bitch for? Okay, so next step I'm going to go in with this one here. Just to kind of add a little bit more warmth. Again, I don't care if it's going to be too messy and going on the lid, because we're covering that anyway and I am messy. Okay, and now I'm going to reach into this one, and I'm mainly going to be using the middle one here, this gorgeous one. This is like an amazing copper colour. Cocoa Bear is probably one of my favourites, so that's the one that we're actually going to use in the transition. And then Flamethrower, I think it is, yeah, Flamethrower. And then to highlight I'll probably use some Starry Eyed, just on the inner corners and under the brow bone. So let's get started. I never have any clean brushes, so it's really hard. I'm probably wasting time trying to find brushes. Let's hope my editing skills are good. Cocoa Bear. And I'm just bringing it out a tiny little bit because I'm going to start to add a wing later on. And then I've just gone in with a slightly cleaner brush, believe it or not. Just to kind of calm it down a little bit and neaten the edges. So it's just a little bit more blurred, a little bit more seamless around there. Perfect. The Okay, so now I'm actually going back in with the eyeshadow primer. I'm not going to cut the crease because I don't want it to look too glam or too sort of neat. So I'm going to go back in with this and just literally dab a little bit onto the eyelid, just to kind of clean up a little bit of mess that I made, because I'm quite messy. My brush isn't even clean for this, so you know. So yeah, it's mainly on the lid. I'm not cutting the crease or anything. It's not going to be too neat. I just want a little bit more of a base to work with, just to really let the copper stand out. I'm even pressing it on with my ring finger. Perfect, so you can kind of see a bit more of a difference there. You can notice this a lot more than the other side. Now I'm going in with the shade Flamethrower from Makeup Geek. These are all Makeup Geek, by the way, if I didn't mention that. This is one of my go-to favourite colours. I love doing copper, I love doing oranges. Like I said, if I could make my own palette, it would be chocolate orange. So of course what I like to do is dampen my brush with some setting spray. I mainly use Urban Decay or NYX. And the one I'm going to use today is the NYX Dewy Finish. I love a dewy finish. So yeah, literally. Then I'm going to go into that shade, the Flamethrower, and oh my god, it's literally just so pretty. And the brush I'm using is actually just one of the double-ended brushes that comes with any of the Naked palettes. I think this is from the Naked 3, yeah. I mean, just look at it. So pretty. So I'm first applying it, but I am then going to kind of go back in and blend it out. And by wetting your brush, it does give it an almost foiled effect, which is what we want. And I'm actually going to take it higher because I really want this to kind of go crazy. Yes. And I'm just going to go back in with my blending brush, if I can find it, and just really blend them together. So as you can see, you've got that really gorgeous kind of blended look. Cool, so I'm just going to go and do the other eye really quickly. Okay, I think I might have to zoom you in a bit. Let's see if I can... God, look at my potato face. People say I don't have a square head, but I really do have a giant square head. Anyway, so you can see I've done both eyes now with the Flamethrower and my favourite colour that I forgot, Cocoa Bear. So just really gorgeous kind of coppery blended grunginess. I'm now going to do pretty much the same underneath. So back in with the Cocoa Bear. I'm using a brush that's probably a bit too big, but it's the only one that's clean and I can make it work. So just the lower lash line. This is an Urban Decay brush as well, the eyeshadow contour. So yeah, I'm just making it work. I suppose that's kind of my excuse for using anything I want when it comes to a grungy look, because to be honest with you, I'm not too bothered about being very neat and clean about it. If anything, it's cool if it kind of just get a bit out of control, a little bit crazy. I mean, this isn't crazy to me, but you know, for some of you. Am I even in shot? Yeah. If I keep looking over to the left like that, it's because my screen's there and I want to make sure that I'm actually in the frame, because it's been a while since I've done any sort of filming. It's really hard as well when you don't have a studio and you've literally just got like a tiny gap in your bedroom. It's pretty hard to make do, but I do it. I can do it. Okay. So I've almost got that kind of elongated, gorgeous, I don't know what you'd call that, nice blended out look. And doing the lower lash line really brings everything together. It just kind of completes the look. It just looks unfinished until you do the bottom. It's actually been a while since I've used Makeup Geek, but I do just love their colours. Like, they're so pigmented, they're really affordable. I used to always reach for this Z palette, like these shades are my favourite. Like I said earlier, I just live for oranges, warm tones. I do love colour as well, but chocolate orange would be my favourite. With the Makeup Geek shade in Americano. So I'm just going to use this on the lower lash line and around the outer corners just to give it a little bit more drama. So I'm just tight lining the eye and it just gives it that really gorgeous smoky effect. A lot of people say, well, for a smoky eye, what can I use other than black? I always used to get that on my counter. I mean, I always go for browns, you can use greys, you can use any colour. I mean, you could smoke something out with like pinks if you're doing a colourful look, but yeah, with orange I'm obsessed with brown. Just on the outer corners, we're just going to pop a little bit, not too much, but just to give a bit more like definition. And I'm kind of, you can see I'm kind of just like packing it on, like stippling rather than really blending it. That's because it's such a foiled metallic look underneath. I just find that this sticks to it a lot better. And then I can gently blend into the rest of the eyeshadows. Now for the waterline, I'm actually going to go in with the NYX Faux Blacks. So this one's kind of like an almost reddish burgundy shade. I'm absolutely obsessed with this one. It would help if I sharpened it, but you know, that's long. A brown would be really cool for this look, or you could use an orange, but I just kind of like that this is kind of like a burnt orangey red. Burgundy, all the shades. Okay, now I'm going to go on to a wing liner. I'm going to kind of bring it pretty far out. Shout out to my friend Chelsea, who's a fierce bitch at wing liner. So again, going in with NYX. This is the matte liquid liner. It's weird, like there's so many different techniques that I use for wing liner. It changes a lot. Often I'll stick with like a kind of pen, or like I'm using now, like a liquid ink pot. It really does vary with me. I do just love this one because it does dry down matte. I don't really like it to look too kind of glossy or anything like that. I'm going to go quite thick with this as well. I'm filming! One thing I would actually say, I tell a lot of my customers, try not to kind of pull on your lid too much, because even though it can look really fierce when you let go, it can be a completely different story, so just bear that in mind. I'm quite happy with that. So just let that dry. I'm just going to do the other wing off camera because I feel like it's going to take forever. No, it's not really. I'm a pro, obviously. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow Pomade in the shade Ash Brown. And I'm actually using an angled eyeliner brush. I either use the standard brow one or one for eyeliner because I'm extra. Also, it's quite obvious, well, to me, I don't know if it's obvious to you, it should be, but my eyebrows, definitely not twins, definitely not sisters, maybe cousins, maybe distant cousins, but they do not match whatsoever, so I do kind of have to tweak quite a little bit, and I lift this brow quite a lot. Okay, so what I usually do is start beneath. Usually I use pencil if I want to be quite soft and natural, but we ain't going natural, okay? We can also, don't forget, neaten up afterwards, so we can go around with concealer just to kind of get it nice and clean. And I kind of leave the front bit. See, this is actually my favourite brow because it's got wispy bits. This one, let's not get started. This one is just limp. And I was always told, like even when I was younger, that I have evil eyebrows. They're very like this. So I often draw on a towel and I actually extend it quite a bit further downwards. So here, I'd probably go to about there, sometimes more. And then yeah, I'm just ever so slightly coming into the front and I kind of just start to run through the spiky bits. So that's my eyebrow. The other one is very hard, a lot more hard work. That's why I always start with this one first. And there is something quite easy about using Dipbrow, because even though you're using a brush, because it's quite a waxy texture, I find that it just glides so perfectly and it does give you that really sharp, strong brow. I'm gonna go in. I'm going to move on to mascara. I'm going to use first of all the Subversion by Urban Decay. You'll notice a lot of my stuff is Urban Decay or NYX. That's because I worked for both of them. If you don't have the fullest of lashes, then this is a really good product. I've actually got two of these. There's one for the eyelashes and then I've actually got another one that I use for eyebrows. This is obviously a travel size. Do the lash dance, the lash dance. Okay, so actually while they're drying, I'm going to go in with the lipstick. 50 Shades of Brown. Literally, that's me. I love a brown lipstick. So I've done my... this is really funny. I've done my bottom lip line and I'm just going to do the top now. So you can see my natural lip line. I'm not doing that. I'm going well above. And the really good thing about these lip liners from Urban Decay is that they are so creamy. For liquid lip, I've got Kat Von D, Bow and Arrow. I mean, come on, I'm just obsessed with brown. I obviously do wear other colours, but I just feel like brown I can wear with anything. You'll notice as well, like all of my Instagram photos are very like, you know, when really I'm like this. Spray my entire face with setting spray, and then for highlight I'm going to go to an oldie that I used to use all the time. You can literally see there's nothing left in the pan. This is the Mary-Louminiser by the Balm, so I actually need to get another one of these, but and I change up the brush that I use quite a lot as well. So this is a very thick application. It's the Luxe Highlight brush from Zoeva. So I do love this one, but it is very... I mean, I just love that. Let's be real. Just get the nose there. I remember how upset, I mean, I used to be so obsessed with the nose ball. I actually stopped doing it because I was like, ah, this is too much. And I'm highlighting a cash because, hey. Yeah, the starry eyed, so I'm going to go in with that. I mean, I think even though this is quite a pinky tone, I mean, I don't really care. I still think it's beautiful. You could go in with more of a peachy colour. I'm going to get a little bit, just look at that V. It's just gorgeous. I mean, who wants to be matte, really? Just because I'm fabulous, I'm going to do some more. So yeah, this is pretty much the finished look. This is just kind of like a really nice, easy go-to look with a nice wing. Something you can do every day or for going out. Love it. Anyway, thanks for watching.